Social media is killing our minds to the point where we don't even know what's real anymore. And y'all know the videos I'm talking about, like when y'all scroll on TikTok and you see these AI videos, these deep fakes. You know how bad that is, you know how scary that is, to the point where you don't know what's real and what's fake. It gets to a point where it harms relationships, to the point where it creates fear, right? If so-and-so isn't responding to you, or if so-and-so doesn't text you back in a certain amount of minutes, that means they're cheating, right? If so-and-so is showing signs of, distance and showing signs of less intimacy, whatever it may be, it means that they're cheating and they're dealing with somebody else. The whole time they just have a lot of things going on in their life. You know what I'm saying? But social media creates that. It creates that image of having options, where if you have this girl follow you and this girl follow you and this girl follow you, it shows that they're interested with you, and it shows that they want to build a connection with you, and it shows that you have options. In reality, it's not even like that. They're most likely just following you just because they think you look good, right? Or they just want to follow you just to follow you, whatever the case may be. But social media makes it seem like if you don't have options as a man, then you're a failure, right? You don't have a high sexual market value, right? And it makes no sense, right? As a man, there's no reason why you should be dealing with multiple women at once. There's no reason why you should be talking to multiple women at once, instead of focusing on your purpose and focusing on your bag, focusing on your money, focusing on how you can level up your physique, right? That's what we should be focusing on. But we're so caught up in making it seem like we get women, making it seem like, oh, I'm talking to this chick and I'm talking to this chick, right? And if you want to be with me, you gotta prove yourself to be different than all the other women I'm talking to. You know what I'm saying? It's weird, man. It's so weird to me. And vice versa. You know what I'm saying? We have these women on Instagram that see these men with these nice cars, and they see other men giving their woman all these flowers and all these gifts, and they create this idea of, oh, if your man isn't doing that, that means your man doesn't love you enough. Little things like that is the reason why it's so detrimental to this generation, detrimental to society, because it creates a false sense of love, right? It replaces love with just lust. It replaces love with materials. If you don't buy your girl so-and-so, if you don't take your girl out to Cancun, it means that you don't love her enough. When in reality, you just taking care of yourself. When in reality, you just making sure that you're financially stable, right? But see, other women on social media, they don't see that, right? And thank God for the women out there that believe that love doesn't need to be paid for, right? That you don't need to pay a woman or take a woman out or buy a woman certain things to make her feel loved, right? See, back in the days, I just know in the 60s and the 70s, in the 50s, you didn't have to buy a woman anything, right? You didn't have to pop out with a chain, you know what I'm saying? You didn't have to fly her out to any country. All you had to do was just be yourself. All you had to do was just be authentic. All you had to do was just have a personality and make her laugh. Just be who you are, man. And that's what attracts them. But nowadays, when you scroll on social media, it's like, if you don't buy your girl a $100,000 watch, or if you're not making $200,000 a year, then you're not worth her time. Right? It makes no sense to me, man. And it really goes to show how social media is frying our brains to the point where our attention span is getting lower and lower and lower, to the point where people are so used to scrolling on YouTube Reels, so used to scrolling on Instagram Reels, so used to scrolling on TikTok Reels, to the point where they can't even read a book. They can't even read a page. They can't even read a 2-page essay. They rather just go to ChatGPT and generate it for them, instead of just looking at their work and seeing what's wrong or what's right. It gets to a point where technology is making its way into combining itself with human beings, into merging itself with human beings, right? To the point where if we don't have our AirPods in our ears all day, we feel weird. We don't feel okay, right? To the point where if we don't have our phone in our pocket constantly all day, then it makes us feel weird. You know what I'm saying? It's getting to a point where you take somebody out to dinner and you're trying to speak to them, and they're constantly looking at their phone. They're constantly texting. They're constantly looking at their phone. They're constantly on Instagram, right? It gets to a point where you're in college and even the professors are using ChatGPT. Even the professors are using AI to scope out AI. They're using AI to detect AI. You see how crazy that is, right? With that being said, it's getting scary out here, man. It's getting really crazy out here, right? So if you're not connected with God, if you're not connected with the Lord, if you're not connected with Christ, then you're really in for a rude awakening, right? Because God doesn't need technology. God doesn't need social media to connect with them, right? All you need is a Bible, and that's it. You just need a Bible, read the instructions on how to get close to God, and once you do those instructions, you will get closer to Him. That's all you have to do. I know it's easier said than done, but at the same time, it's really simple if you really think about it, right? You're given instructions to get closer to God, right? Respect people, treat people with kindness, don't cheat. You know what I'm saying? Don't speak words that bring evil onto people, right? Don't be jealous. Don't be wrathful. Don't be indulging into lust. Don't be indulging into gluttony, right? Kill your fleshly desires each and every day, and that's how you get closer to Him. But the way social media is right now, it's getting harder and harder and harder for us to do that, right? You show these desires each and every day, and it can be as little as showing KFC or showing McDonald's on your feed. Now you're craving McDonald's, now you're craving KFC, but they're not even good for you, right? When is the last time you seen an advertisement about fruits and vegetables? When's the last time you seen an advertisement about grapes, about just water, right? Now it's Raising Cane's and Sizzling Bites and Crispy Halal, right? Now it's McDonald's and Burger King, right? The devil's making it obvious that he's working very hard to lead us astray. He's working very hard to make us indulge in our own desires. And the more that you get closer to God, the more that you get closer to Christ, the more you will see that, right? You need to be anointed with the Spirit. You need to be anointed with the Holy Spirit, right? In order for your discernment to grow, you must be anointed, right? You must indulge yourself in the Lord. You must indulge yourself in Christ. That's the only way you can stay away from all this negativity, right? When is the last time you meditated? And we wonder why we get so depressed and we have so much anxiety, but you're scrolling on social media, scrolling on TikTok each and every day. When is the last time you meditated? When's the last time you calmed yourself down and you meditated inside of your room with just silence in your own thoughts? And the thing is, people get so used to scrolling on social media to the point where they get so scared of facing their own thoughts. They get so scared of facing their own demons, man. And the more that you get scared of that, the more you get attacked, right? Because the devil feeds off fear. So the more that you get scared, the more he will literally make it harder for you to get closer to Christ, right? By leading you away from your purpose, by making you indulge with lust, right, and pornography, and fast food, and all these type of things. And you not knowing what it may be, you keep going on social media, scrolling, thinking that someday or some way your problems are going to be fixed. The only way your problems can be fixed is if you look within. Look within yourself, meditate, and see what's deeply wrong with you. See what is wrong with your mental health. See what is wrong with your spiritual health, with your physical health, right? And the only way you can do that is just by being still and just let God flow through you. Just let him flow, man. Let life flow. Let God flow through your veins and breathe in and out and calm your nerves instead of just scrolling your life away, right? When you meditating, you end up creating so many ideas, so many ideas of new ways of making money. New ways of how you can level up your physique, new ways of how you can level up your confidence, right? New ways of how you can get smarter, things like that. You create so many ideas, and people don't realize that when you're around so many people, right, you're just around a lot of distractions. And the more that you're around distractions, the less focused you're going to be, right? And the more that you're on social media, the more that you're scrolling your life away, the less focused you're going to be, right? The more brain fog, the more brain fog that you have. The more brain fog you have, the more you will start to feel disconnected from the Lord, right? The more you will start to feel like, maybe I'm not doing enough. The more you will start to feel like, maybe I'm doing something wrong, right? And that's your intuition speaking to you, right? That's your calling. If you feel like you're doing something wrong, if you have the urge, if you have the need to get closer to God, do not ignore it, right? Do not ignore it. Do not ignore that feeling, because 10 times out of 10, that's God speaking to you. That's him calling you. That's him telling you that you need to seek him more. You need to stay away from social media. You need to stay away from these deep fakes and these AIs and these OnlyFans models. You need to stay away from all of that and just focus on him, right? This isn't talked about enough because a lot of people are so distracted, right? Time is ticking. Time doesn't wait for anybody. Time does not wait for anybody, right? And time is definitely more valuable than money, than women, than cars, than houses, than the jewelry that you have, than everything. Time is so valuable, and you cannot get that back. So the more time you're wasting scrolling on social media, scrolling on TikTok, scrolling on Instagram, the more you're just wasting your purpose. The more you're leading away from God. With that being said, get close to God. Try your very best to stay away from social media. Try your very best to stay away from Instagram, TikTok, whatever you're struggling with. Try your very best to flee from it, right? Because if you let it, it will take over your soul, and it will get to a point where you will feel like you have no control of your life. I'm gone.